So I was out running again, this time in the middle of the woods, because, I'm preparing for the apocalypse. That's manly, right? People won't call me a femboy if I say that, right?
So you should be good.
Good. The apocalypse. Whoa. Imagine Dragons. And so in the middle of the woods, I hear this strange sound, like the air gets sucked in or something. And believe me, I'm familiar with sucking in. And so I go to investigate this sound, and I find a full-on rift. Like we're talking actual portal to GLaDOS. So I enter this portal, rift, whatever this is, and I see something. It's not very clear exactly how it looks because I've only been there twice before, once when it was real low poly and once when it was fan interpretation, which is probably wrong because of what we see in VR. Probably pretty fleshy though, with large green creatures rising like bamboo out of the ground, which smack anything they hear around them because they're blind. Anyways, I see this place, but what I see is not too important. It is what I hear that is important, and I'll do my best to mimic it. I heard a guy do this in a toothpaste ad once. That's where I got it from. Okay, here we go.
I'm the last.
Whoa, that was something. Anyways, that obviously startles me. So even though I kind of want to explore this place, I unfortunately chicken out and go back through the rift. When I first entered the rift, it was afternoon, probably about 5 p.m. When I exited, it was quite dark, but since it's Swedish summer, it never gets all too dark. But once more, it's not what I saw that was interesting, but what I heard. I heard another voice.
Yo, what is up, you guys? Today, we are going to be calling George Washington at 3 a.m.
Somehow, that was interrupted by the sound of thunder. I don't really know how that worked.
Supposedly, when you call George Washington at 3 a.m., a clone of George Washington will come to your house after 666 seconds, and nobody knows what the clone will do to you. But let me tell you, if I had a cloning machine, I know exactly what I'd do.
And he went on and on about this phone call and about George Washington, and at times it was a bit inappropriate. It was weird. I followed the voice and found the trail I was on before I entered the rift. And when I was pretty close to them, I heard the same voice as before say,
If you watched our last video, you will have seen that drinking the Dimensional Rift potion at 2:50 a.m. worked like a charm, and so we will call George Washington at 3 a.m. so that he will deal with this dimension's version of ourselves, and then we shall take their position and become this dimension's one and only Grand Archaics.
So apparently their grand plan, which appears to be working, was that. And that name, Grand Archaics. It's familiar, yet... Anyways, I don't make myself known, nor do I listen to their call with George Washington. I just decide that I should leave. But as I leave, this guy and his cameraman somehow spot me. I know they spot me because somehow there was this stupid sound effect. Now, while most people are instantly enthralled by my irresistible charm, this guy and his cameraman clearly weren't. In fact, that annoying guy said,
Guys, do you see that? Ew, this Swedish person smells sour, like funky. Excuse me, why do you smell so bad?
And I look at him and I think, what is the comeback of the century? And so I look at him dead in the eyes and I go full creature beast mode, like Blair Witch style. Like think of how like in horror media creatures often move quickly, like they're being sped up. That was me in my Blair Witch style creature beast mode. So I do this, and I climb up the nearest tree vertically, like a spider. All the while I do a little thing I like to call summon voices. Basically, it goes something like this.
You are more damned than I'll be. You know, I'll be damned.
Like that. Well, now, while some of you realize how cool and radical I totally am in this situation, a handful of you will be moaning once more, saying, "But Dog Rock, why go creature beast mode? It makes you sound like a furry or something from Animorphs." And to that, I just gotta say that even if creature beast mode slightly changes my physical form, it's not to the likeness of any animal from this realm. Then there's another handful of you who are questioning Blair Witch as a comparison, since witches are women, and that comparison is a weird one, since I am a straight white man. And to you, I say, it was a good descriptor. You should have seen it yourself. Going full creature beast mode ended up being a double-edged sword. You see, while I successfully scared Krand Archaeax, it came with an unfortunate sound effects. Everything sounded roughly like this, which was obviously annoying, but they got lower in volume the further away I got, because at this point I was jumping from tree to tree with the speed of a creature, the grace of an elf, and the will of a fly somehow flying through your walls but not your windows? Come on, if you can clip in, you should be able to clip out. Oh, that actually reminds me. Inside my walls, aka my pockets, pockets, I had something I wanted to show you. Let's see here. There we go. This one goes out to all of the people who keep touching me without asking permission or vibe checking. I'm not saying that people are necessarily touching me inappropriately, necessarily, just that I'm not a huge fan of being touched. So this one goes out to you. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was going creature beast mode. So I got out of the forest pretty quick, and as soon as I got home I scoured the internet for these Krand Archaeax, but it seems the episode isn't uploaded yet. Other than that, there isn't much to add to this particular story, because there's more of a general thing I have to add. In the forest, I heard a bunch more rift sounds as I was going creature beast mode, and so I suspect there are more people from different dimensions here. Perhaps we already have equivalents of some in our universe, like with Krand Archaeax, since, you know, they seem so familiar. And perhaps we don't have equivalents to some. And the question I have about this, because the rest makes total sense, is why here? Why in a random Swedish forest not too far away from where I live? Strange. Anyways, I hope you liked my story. I'm hoping to tell you more totally real stories that definitely happened to me, or perhaps even some that I totally heard happen to others. Please comment if you have similar stories, or if you have any topics you'd like to see if I have stories about. Like, subscribe, and see ya.